Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Guys on Gaffr. My name is Joel, and for the first time in a little while, we've got all three of us. Yay! David is here, Abhishek is here. David, welcome back. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well. It's been a long time, and I've noticed that I've been gone for a while because my absence from this pod has coincided with my huge streak of red arrows in Gaffr. So my like info and intel in this game has just dropped massively. So I need to be back just for my own fantasy sake, but like just and also for you guys, of course. But like it's like it makes sense. It makes sense.
It's good to have you back, David.
Yeah.
Abhishek is also here. Sadly, a bit of a croaky voice today, Abhishek. Are you okay aside from a
Yeah,
croaky voice?
yeah. Apart from that, I think we are good. Uh, I mean, in terms of fantasy points, please don't happening. Don't get injured, my players. I'm just begging you because every time I sit to watch a game and they get injured, it's really heartening, disheartening to see because it depends a lot of points depends on them. So apart from that, I think it's been fun. Proper football is back after a long, really long game week.
Mm,
I really hate this middle of break game weeks. So hopefully, proper football is back.
yep.
European football is also back from next week, I think. So
hmm
yeah, full on football mode now. So yeah.
Good
Apart
stuff.
from that, all good. How are you guys?
Yeah, good, good. It's been there's not been that much football. It felt like you say, with those winter break weeks where things were very drawn out, and lots of FA Cup and stuff as well. But yeah, I'm doing well. Gaffer's going well actually. Pleased with it. But yeah, let's dive in. So it is a very important episode because we've had the boost reset. The third set of boosts are upon us. We've got double game weeks coming up and stuff, so we're going to be focusing a lot of our chat around boost strategy today. But first, let's go through our teams. The first thing to flag though is that we are recording Sunday afternoon, not too long after the Middlesbrough Sunderland game finished. So ranks won't be up to date, particularly with like the glitching points last night. And also you'll notice David's points on the screen. It says 1 point for Clark because this screenshot was done before he got
I think
his
it's been
assist.
updated now. I have more points than when I said you sent your screenshot like a half an hour ago or something.
Yeah, but Clark got an assist, so
Yeah.
since you sent the screenshot, David. So, but yeah,
Cool.
David, we'll start with you. Yours is on the screen. How is Gaffer going at the moment? How is this week going?
It says now that I have 100 points, which sounds good, but it's like a game week rank 430, so I don't know. It's
That won't
probably
be
not
accurate,
right.
David.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it probably is good. But it's my first green arrow potentially since game week 24.
Yikes.
So that's a long time. I was sniffing at 70 in game week 23, and then I just dropped from 96 down to 220 now. So not good. It was like it's still good, but like it's not where I want to be. But probably should pay more attention. That's probably why. But it's a good week that I come back to the pod because I've had us guys had a little disagreement in the chat when we was talking about who we're going to play in the Thursday Night Wars, because I somehow convinced Abhishek to buy Torp last week. He didn't start or anything, but this week he started and got an assist, and I think it was 3 performance bonus. And I started him in my team, of course, like you do, because he's a legend. But
No bias whatsoever there.
No
Completely
bias,
unbiased pick.
Yeah. So he got 9 points. So that's like the highlight of my game week, and the rest is just like template. Apart from my hesitation to captain good players, because I never do that abundantly. That's probably why I've gone so much down, because I haven't been captaining Dewsbury Hall most of the time.
What happened to
So
you in the double? What did you do on the blank, like in 28 and 29? Like, did you play any boosts in those weeks?
I was out of boosts a long time ago.
Well, that's probably also contributed to your drop then as well.
Yeah. I got in game week 28, was it there? I got 91 minus 4, and I captained Bamford. Bamford got something else, one. And Somerville had Rowe. but it wasn't apparently good enough because people played boosts.
There were lots of high scores that week.
Yeah, so 19s wasn't good, and game week 29 I got 48 minus 8, which was not good. I captained Mavididi, and
Yeah.
not so could have gone better, and yeah, so that's like the story of the last couple of game weeks. Could have been better, could have been worse, but mostly worse.
Well, I hope you can fight your way back up towards that top 100, David. It's me next. So I'm on a good week here. 104 minus 4, started the week at overall rank 36. I'm hoping that will become a Green Arrow and ranks update later. Took a minus 4, so I brought in Armstrong and Schmodix. I sold Armstrong for game at 28 for Sargent, and then moved Sargent onto right as a failed punt in blank game week 29. So then I brought Armstrong back in and sold Mavididi to fund that. The other option, I guess, instead of Schmodix was Philogene Bidet, but I wasn't sure he was going to start. So I'm not really kicking myself over that because of I was never that close to picking him. Schmodix is one of those where, you know, if he doesn't return, he's probably blanking because he doesn't do great on the bonus unless he's scoring. So yeah, it was a shame that didn't quite work out. But overall, I'm very pleased with the week. Defensively solid. Harwood Bellis is still doing a really good job for me because Southampton is so good defensively. He's kind of covering me off instead of having Ricardo Pereira. Still haven't owned him all season. Jack Clark's assist was nice earlier as well, and picking Dewsbury Hall captain was a good decision this week, as captaincy is something I quite often don't quite get right in this game, so it's good to pick well this time. Whitaker just continues to smash it every week. He's just been an absolute hero. The only time he didn't perform for me was when I played Budget Buster, but after that he's just been incredible. So yeah, it's been a really good week. Just to give a sense of how good the template's been, because obviously my team is extremely template. I've just realised that in 4 of the last 5 game weeks, and obviously the odd one out was the blank, I've scored net over 100 in 4 of the last 5 game weeks. Now, albeit in 26 I only went up 6 places, in 27 it was a red arrow, and this week it's probably going to be a small green. It just gives you a sense of like the template just absolutely smashing it at the moment. So people who are going off template are probably struggling a lot at the moment, which is tough when you're trying to make up grounds. You kind of need to smash the boosts, but yeah, it's been a really good few weeks for the template. So yeah, pleased with how it's going, hoping to push on in this set and see how high we can go. Yeah, it's turning into a good season, thankfully, so yeah, hopefully it won't drop too much. Abhishek, you played a boost?
Yeah, my last boost for the leader. I mean, I'm not very happy with it, but not too sad with it. Also, would have gotten a bit different because had I put captaincy on Dewsbury Hall instead of Mavididi, would have gotten a much more points haul in terms of.
Not much.
Yeah, but Mavididi got 5, Dewsbury got 20. I mean, how many Dewsbury
14.
got? 14
You'd have
points.
got like 6 or 7 extra points, right? Because it's only 0.5 multiplier extra. But yeah.
So I think 7 points would have had. Yeah, I think probably my vice or emergency captaincy, if I had switched around a bit, probably Armstrong with 16 points there. Not 16, I think he scored a goal. 5, 4, 9, 10, 11 points there. Could have gotten a bit more with vice captaincy option, but I only got 2 Southampton players, so vice captaincy on a double on 2 players rather than vice captaincy on 3 Leeds players with Ampadu, Reuter, and Somerville would have been a bad decision. But after the game, it didn't turn out to be. It would have turned out to be a good decision, but I have to prefer Leeds with the kind of form they are in right now. So I'm not too disappointed with the decision, but yeah, I think overall it went well. Brought in Whittaker as well finally, because I have waited with I persisted with Broadhead for so many weeks. Finally, it was time to bid for bye bye to Broadhead. So Whittaker straight away performs for me 10 points. So that hit really justifies Me bringing. So yeah, I think apart from that, it was decent enough score. 123 or 16. I am on 618th overall, which I think I will not be after Sunderland's game. So probably I will be around on 658 to 668 on that range. So my target was going to be top 500, but which could not did, because game week 29 was not good, because with a lot of boosts and other players performing, and my my apart from Dewsbury Hall, nobody performed whoever I had for game week 29.
How
So
many players did you
that
have that week?
really, 7 players, out of which Twine got injured, so he did not play. So basically, I was down to 6. And out of that, I think only the goalkeeper and Dewsbury Hall provided me some points. The rest of the defense, nothing. Only 1 point is from my defense, I think. Four-man defense, I think, all got, Helic got 3 points, Cannon got 1 point, Vanovic got 0, and Ricky P got 4 points. So I needed something more
Right
from
decision
him.
not to underhaul though.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't possible to underhaul, because the team that my team was set up for follow the lead, for playing the follow the leader boost. So it didn't matter to me whether I play underhaul or not, because I was down. I was resistant. I mean, I probably thought that, yeah, I will get a red arrow. Never mind. I will All the red arrows that I got will be made up by the for the leader,
Yeah, yeah.
which to some extent did, but I would have loved a few more, because a lot of follow the leaders have gotten a few more points. But yeah, nevertheless, I'm happy with it. Not in terms of overall rank, but yeah, I mean, it's the final push for the final sector of the season. So hopefully, I will be finishing to, or at least try to get near to the target that I set at the start of the season. So, which is probably 500 places away. So hopefully, hopefully these last 15 game weeks will help. Last 16 game weeks will help me achieve that.
It's good
But
that we're
yeah,
talking about boost today.
Yes, yes.
Like hell.
yeah, yeah. But until and unless we break the template, I'm not seeing any change in the ranks. How to move ahead of the curve.
Just get Torp. It's easy.
Oh dear. It is tough. It is tough. I mean, your team is great on paper looking at it. So, it's one of those, do you just like trust the process and not really take too many risks, or
Yeah.
do you just go crazy? Obviously, the risk when you go crazy with differentials is then you get more red arrows and it gets worse because you're missing out
Yeah.
on these highly popular picks. So it's a tough position to be in. Chasing's hard in this game. It really is.
Yeah, really hard.
Definitely
Really hard,
harder
and
than previous
especially if,
seasons.
yeah, especially if if 4 out of the 6, out of the total 6 boosts have been played, 4 have worked wonderfully in my favor. 2 haven't worked, and that has dented my hopes of getting a decent rank so far. If you look at that, if you look at the season that I have had, so probably I need to have a clean 3 out of 3 hit home runs in both section in
Yeah,
the next last segment, so that I can achieve my rank. So yeah,
yeah, for sure.
that's me.
Right, let's get into the main discussion then on boosts. Before we do the boosts, obviously, so at the moment we've got 2 double game weeks in the diary. We have got game week 33 and we've got game week 37. In game week 33, the teams that double are Cardiff against Blackburn, Ipswich against Rotherham, Plymouth against West Brom, Southampton against Hull. Those are the like midweek fixtures that are the double fixtures. So those 8 teams will play twice. So obviously that's a significant week in terms of boosts. The other one is game week 37, where Birmingham and Middlesbrough double. So Birmingham double at home to Borough and away to Millwall, Middlesbrough, or away to QPR and obviously Birmingham. But will there be any more double game weeks? And that is an important question to answer, because obviously that will determine a lot whether we play one of our boosts in a single game week or not. Now, for those of you who don't realise, we are almost guaranteed to get one more double game week. It's not often this is the case, I feel like, at this point with the FA Cup, but the way the draw has landed means that it's very likely. So on the screen, you'll see a graphic that just shows all the possible games that could be off in Game Week 38, which is when the FA Cup quarterfinals take place. And actually, we're in a position where 8 of the 12 games could still, in theory, be postponed. Now, that won't happen, and in all likelihood, it will just be one game. But obviously that will create one more double down the line. So I'll just quickly flick through these games for the benefit of those on the audio. So first of all, I've kind of colour-coded them in terms of likelihood to happen. So the 4 at the top that are in green are very unlikely to be postponed. They're likely to go ahead in Game Week 38. So West Brom against Bristol City is only postponed if Bristol City beat Forest in the replay and then beat Man United in the 5th round. Plymouth Preston will only be postponed if Plymouth beat Leeds in their replay, and then the winner of Chelsea and Aston Villa in the 5th round. Same deal for Leeds against Millwall, that'll be postponed if Leeds beat Plymouth and then they beat Chelsea or Villa. Birmingham Watford will be postponed if Watford beat Southampton in the replay and then go on to beat Liverpool in round 5. So those are the 4 very unlikely ones because of those tough Premier League ties against kind of top Premier League teams that they have to, and they all have to get through replays as well first. The 2 that are slightly more likely to be postponed, but still fairly unlikely, I'd say, Middlesbrough-Blackburn is only going to be postponed if Blackburn beat Newcastle at home in round 5. So it's not completely impossible if Newcastle put out a weakened team, but, obviously Newcastle are heavy favourites. And then the other one is Leicester against Southampton, which will be postponed if Leicester beat Bournemouth away, which is, again, not inconceivable at all, considering Leicester are obviously a top Championship team. The gap to Bournemouth won't be huge. The other possibility is if Southampton beat Watford in the replay and Liverpool, that would also be postponed. But obviously, that's highly unlikely. So we're mostly looking at Bournemouth-Leicester there, I think. So I see that as a maybe, that one. Leicester-Southampton, which would cause an interesting double further down the line if that did get postponed. But then the 2 that are most likely, it can't be both of these, but it's very likely that one of these next 2 will be postponed. Coventry against Hull and Ipswich against Sheffield Wednesday. This is because Coventry play Sheffield Wednesday in the replay, and then the winner of that goes on to play Maidstone at home in the 5th round. And obviously, both of those teams would be heavy favourites in that scenario. So all eyes on who wins that replay in midweek, because that will probably give us an indication of which of these 2 fixtures is going to be postponed in Game Week 38, unless Maidstone can pull off another incredible shot like they did against Ipswich. So with all that in mind, there are 4 free midweeks given the information that we'll have that these doubles could go in. Game Week 37, although this is quite unlikely because it would be quite a short turnaround, a couple of weeks, I think. So I think Game Week 37 is highly unlikely, much more likely to be one of Game Weeks 43, 44 and 45 that those go into. So I think it's best if we move forward in this discussion with the assumption that we're going to have 3 double game weeks, 33, 37, and then one of either Leicester versus Southampton and like one of Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday and Coventry Hull moving to one of the later weeks, which means presumably we're likely to want to play the boosts in those weeks, those doubling weeks. So that's that. In terms of what the boosts actually are, Overhaul is there as always. Goal Fest is back, 5 points per goal, including bench players. Away Days is the biggie. Triple's back. Park the Bus is back. And the other interesting one is Performance Enhancement, which is ×2 multiplier applied to the performance bonus points, which is interesting. And I did seek clarification from Gaffr on how captaincy affects this. They told me that they are 98% sure that the dev guy is going to double check his code, but they're pretty sure that let's say your captain gets 3 bonus points, it's just like a +3 for the boost. So captaincy doesn't really factor into things. It's just however many bonus points you get across your team, it gets doubled. So if your vice captain gets 4 bonus points, you get 4 points added on for the boost as well. So first reactions, guys. Obviously, Away Days and Triple are the top 2. What would your third pick be? Because this is not clear cut in my mind. I should bring you guys back on screen as well. There we go.
Yeah. It depends a bit because I'm like a bit out of the templates, so I'm not sure if I should play overhaul to get it. But like at the same time, do I want that in my position? Probably not. So I should probably just stick with my guns. But I have fond memories from performance enhancement from playing Champman. I think that was when it was first added.
Yeah.
And I think it's also Gaffr is a game with much bonus points. So if you just get it right, you can get like a massive haul, I guess. But it's a bit more unpredictable because unless you just have those players that always get bonus and just rely on them, even though they don't get a huge return other than bonus. So for example, you don't get Smodix for that boost if you if you want to play it. But yeah. I don't think I want Park the Bus because I don't want 5 good defenders. I want midfielders and forwards at the moment. So
Okay.
If you have 3 good defenders and 2 that could get points, I guess it's okay. I don't have that at the moment. I have Cannon and Bernard on my bench, and I don't think those are like strong enough. But I can always get ones. So yeah, I think those are my thoughts. I agree that the ones you said are definitely the ones you want to play. But like the third one is the most interesting. So it depends on if you like want to save the like lesser one for the potential double game week that comes for, and just because everyone will have those players because we will know, and it's most likely players that we already have, at least some of them. You can have the edge of like having those players but getting more points than the ones that don't play the boost. So
yeah, interesting stuff. Abhishek, any thoughts on what the third best boost is? Do you agree or disagree with what David said there?
No, I think probably agree with him because, as you rightly mentioned at the top of the before starting this discussion, the 2 boosts, away days and triple triple, are going to be the 2 out of the 3 boosts that are going to be played on this set. Third one is quite tricky because I quite like the performance enhancement, especially in the championship game, because a lot of time your popular players don't score a goal, but they get those champion bonus points. For example, we have received a lot of bonus points for example, like uh, Clark, Armstrong. Even though they don't do anything, they're just going to put up those numbers for those performance bonuses. So that becomes quite a intriguing option as a boost. So if your team is set up with these players, I think performance enhancement is really a good option to play, and a different option as well. Uh, Also because Park the Bus, no championship defense is looking like getting a clean sheet, let alone getting a half clean sheet, let alone a full clean sheet, because all the attackers that we have are scoring goals for fun. So it's really hard to say that we have to have a Park the Bus, because unlike on the Super League that our defender is going to score goals, you are not expecting defender to score goals in championship, especially 1 or 2 at best if you are very lucky. But Park the Bus is really not for me straight away. In terms of other boosts, I think I will not. I mean, a lot of people will play overall, those who have played Budget Buster. So the decisions will be quite tricky for them, because if they are going to use a boost on Gaming 31 with their overall, because a lot of people have been saying that they're going to overall out of their Budget Buster team. So it's going to be a tricky decision in which week they're going to use, or which boost they're going to use as the last boost. Because triple triple or performance enhancement, both are looking good in terms of the fixtures that we have in the rest of the until the end of the season. So it's going to be a quite a tough decision for them. I Thankfully we 3 are not on the decision, because we played Budget Buster quite early, so we are don't need to use the overall. But yeah, I'm really intrigued to see those who will play overall out of the Budget Buster team, how they're going to plan their boost, because OADs will be popular in 33, and lots of teams, lots of players that we have already have good decent amount of away day fixtures, especially in 33. So away days in 33 is a sheer lock. So they're going to have 2 boosts taken out of them in the first 4 weeks of still getting the new boost. So it will be interesting to see who they prefer or who the community prefers now, especially the performance enhancement or triple triple. Which of them is favorable right now? But yeah, for us, I think my 3 will be Shield, already triple triple and performance enhancement. So yeah,
I would have
that should
played
be.
the Park the Bus if we had season 1 Aiden Flint still in the game. But he plays for Mansfield Town, so that's a shame.
Yeah, his career's gone backwards a bit. I don't know how old he is. Maybe he's just getting a bit old now. I'm not sure.
He's 34.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
not the worst.
Yeah, I think I agree with a lot of what was said there. Particularly, what you're saying, Abhishek, about overhaul being much more of a decision for those who have just played Budget Buster and potentially being further away from a good team in 33. Goalfest I'm really not keen on. I've got 100 points net this week, and I've got from 2 goals in my team. Like a lot of the best assets are performance bonus machines and good for assists. So just the floor for Goalfest is a real problem, and the only week I'd feel comfortable playing it in is 33. But even then, like it's definitely not the play at all. So yeah, I mean, in agreement with that. Part of the Bustle performance enhancement is interesting. I'm not 100% sure where I stand on that yet. My initial thought was performance enhancement might have quite a low ceiling in terms of how many performance bonus points do we typically get in a single game week? 15, 20, although I did just count up this week. I got 27, which is a lot, and if that could get doubled up, that's okay. But I do see this having quite a low ceiling compared to the other boosts in terms of each player can get a maximum of 4 extra points per game, whereas when you're looking at other boosts, like for example Part of the Bus, you could get lucky with a goal. You've got players who can get assists like Leif Davis that can get doubled up on top of clean sheets and stuff. So I don't know. Part of the Bus could be interesting in that sense, but then obviously the captaincy becomes an issue with Part of the Bus as well.
Yeah, I think, but that we have, if Park the Bus, we need to use 5 defenders, right? The 3 defenders we are sure of. The last 2 defenders, it's going to be tricky. That's going to make us feel that going to take the balance whether Park the Bus is a decent option or not. This set, because we don't have, because Ricardo Pereira, Kyle Walker-Peters, and Leif Davis. These are 3 options on the Park the Bus base. But what are the other 2 options?
It's like a high variance chip because and performance enhancements, you can be sure that you get at least some performance boost points, but not huge amounts if you're not very lucky with the ones you got. But you can get extremely lucky with a goal from a fringe player in your 4th or 5th defender spot. But yeah, it can also go very badly. You get no clean sheets, no goals, no nothing. So depends how you want to play it, actually.
And I do think in the majority of cases you want to be going for the higher variance boost in this game because the ceiling can be huge. Unless you're really trying to protect rank, I think you want to go for that higher ceiling boost. But and the other thing with Part of the Bus, I agree, Abhishek, with what you're saying. It's a little awkward for me, for example, in terms of money in the bank. If you're gonna have 4 of Somerville, Dewsbury Hall, Clark, Rutter, Armstrong, Mavididi, or 5 of them even, money gets tight, and I currently it'd be really awkward for me to move to Part of the Bus in terms of having to downgrade players I don't want to downgrade. Let's get up to 5 good defenders. So that's the really tricky thing for me. Could it be worth the manoeuvring? I don't know. Then you get benching dilemmas with your attackers too.
Yeah, and also I think why performance enhancement really sticks out in this set for me is that whatever attackers or defenders you have, if they continues to score, at least look at my forward line. I have Rutter, Armstrong, and Whitaker. If all the 3 score at least 1 goal, I'm assured of getting 1 or 2 performance bonus minimum. If they score more, that's wonderful. I know that I can't get more than 4, but the assurance of getting 2 bonus points at least from my 3 forward players is much more, because that doubles up to 6 points. So that's 6 points guaranteed if one of them scores. If any of them scores in a match. So I think that's quite takes the balance that towards performance bonus, performance enhancement, rather than park the bus. But with your points being said, Hull City signing Ryan Giles, that's your fourth defender.
Yeah.
So you've already got four defenders out of the five defenders. You just have to need to think about the fifth defender. You're gonna have a decent amount of fixture on the week you're going to play. So it's really now when we are discussing among ourselves, it's becoming quite a 50-50 decision whether to play performance enhancement or park the bus. But before, I mean, yesterday when it came out, performance enhancement sticked out to me. Yeah, clearly that's going to be my third boost. But now when talking with you guys, yeah, Giles is also back. So he's going to start for Hull City. Hull City has a decent amount of games. You are going to expect some assist or half clean sheet points from Hull now. So, yeah, it's
But
looking quite intriguing.
how many points is the max you can get in performance bonus?
4.
4 points per player, isn't it, per
So
game?
that's like two half clean sheets.
Yep. No,
It's a low ceiling.
it's less than 2 half clean sheets.
It's a low ceiling.
Because half clean sheet 3-3-6.
So
You are
it's
going to.
you would if you would have those strikers you talk about anyway, and you can still get most of those points, but also have defenders. You can play 5-3-2, 2-3. I mean, and still get, but you get double points for defenders that could get the same amount of points you get from performance, but better and more points, more probably.
You've got to
So
weigh,
actually-
you've got to weigh the
Ye-
the multiplier gain that you get from Park the Bus. You've only got it on 5 players versus getting ×2 performance bonus across all 11. It's not obvious, which is better to me at the moment. I
No.
need to think about it more.
Yeah, I've become more unsure now because it's like it's
the
not
only
not
thing
that clear cut.
Yeah, the only thing what I can say in terms of park the bus, Gaffr has a system that we can play in the formation of 5-2-3. We can play with 2 midfielders in Gaffr. In other fantasy games, we can't play that.
Oh really?
So
I
if
forgot about that.
We can.
I don't.
We can.
In FPL, we can. I
Yeah.
don't think we can play with
Yeah.
2 midfielders.
We can, yeah. We can.
Yeah.
Just 5-2-3.
Yeah?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
I think it's another game
Pretty
you can't play 5-4
I don't know.
or something.
I think it's Sky.
Yeah, Sky.
Yeah.
There's some like 5-back formations you can play, but FPL you can.
Yeah.
Sky not.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, moving on, I think in terms of that, say, add to the Joe's point that 5 players that we are going to stick out for us, spend our money, the likes of, let's say, Somerville, Clark, Rutter, Armstrong, and Whittaker. Let's say we're gonna keep faith on those 5 players as our expensive players and move around the money on the rest of the defenders, because Giles is also, I think, 6 million. So they need Kyle Walker Peters, Leave Davies. They all come at a premium. They are not budget players anymore. So you have to spend your money in terms of, if you're looking at that, you can move along
Tricky.
the money among those players. But
You can also
as
have
you mentioned, rightly,
a Leeds defender, Ampadu or something.
yeah, he's also 6 million plus. Yeah,
6 million.
there's your 5 defenders. We've talked about the bus 5 defenders, but as Joe mentioned, it's only 5 players in terms of park the bus, whereas in terms of performance enhancement, you get 11 opportunities to get.
Yeah.
So that means what? 4 into 11, 44 points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
although I think we should discount the goalkeepers because they never get bonus unless they
They don't.
save a 10. So probably 10, really.
Who knows? If they save a penalty, who knows?
Once a Newman.
I can see myself probably going for performance enhancement because I think what will probably be the most convincing argument for me is the surgery needed to get a good part of the bus out, and the fact that you're going to need to change your structure. Whereas performance enhancement, you don't need to change structure at all. So I think that means I'm probably going to go performance enhancement, but I'm not going to. I'm not holding myself to that yet. It needs more thought. But in terms of weeks to play these boosts, game week 33, the immediately obvious thing that stood out to me was game week 33 for away days, because Hull play twice away, Huddersfield, Southampton, Blackburn play twice away, so Preston away, Cardiff away, and obviously the rest of the doublers all kind of have one away game. So Ipswich have one away game against Swansea. Plymouth they don't have any away games actually, to be fair, but West Brom have an away game against Plymouth, not great, but like the key ones like Ipswich and Southampton both have an away game as well. So you can kind of load up on Hull, but then at least the thing that I'm pondering at the moment is that leaves triple a little awkward. in game week 37, the Birmingham Middlesbrough double, are you triple chipping on on any doublers for Middlesbrough and Birmingham? I'm not sure you are, unless someone really stands out for either side. In the meantime, like that's a bad triple week for doublers, and then that leaves the other potential double, and if it wasn't for that other potential double, I'd be really unsure, because 33 is a good triple week, right? Southampton double, they've got great assets. Ipswich have a decent double there, so that to me is a really good triple week. And game week 37 isn't, so then you're just left with either that, what was it, Ipswich against Sheffield Wednesday game, or Coventry Hull. Now, I think the only reason not to play away days in game week 33 here is if you're convinced there's no other good triple week, but I think that might be good enough. Coventry Hull or Ipswich Sheffield Wednesday, because Ipswich you can do it on Leif Davis, maybe like Kiefer Moore, or whoever like the best looking attacker is at the moment. I know the attack is a bit of a minutes issue at the moment. You're not sure who's going to start, but like maybe Davis and Kiefer Moore are two there. Coventry and Hull, you have certainly more assets to choose from as well. You've got Philogene, potentially Giles, O'Hare, maybe Haji Wright,
Torp.
Not Thorpe. Not Thorpe. O'Hare's clear. But, you know, there's some potentially good options there. So that makes me think we're probably doing away days 33, triple, that double. But then when you're playing performance enhancement, because again, you don't want to be, that might just be pick a single game week. And it could even be that we actually don't even play a boosting game week 37 because they're rubbish assets, Middlesbrough and Birmingham.
Do we like know which like away and home fixtures we're gonna get in that potential double? Is it like could we 2 away day games in some of those?
It's a good question, and it's quite an important question. Let's look at
because
that now.
that impacts a bit, doesn't it?
It does. It certainly does. It's a good point.
Because if those teams you get in the double have 2 home games, it doesn't matter.
Ipswich play, if the Ipswich rearranged double would be at home to Sheffield Wednesday, so they wouldn't get 2 away, unfortunately. But Hull could have 2 away. Let's have a look. If they got the double and it goes into, it's only 44 where they play Watford away. So it's only 44 where they could get 2 away. In game 30, 43 and 45 they play at home. And I guess I'll check 37. And in 37 they're home to Leicester. So that makes away days potentially tricky. Middlesbrough in their double in 37 are away twice, to be fair. QPR Birmingham, that is good. It's just who do you pick? Like, if they had good assets, I'd be looking at 37 as a possible away days. Yeah, so game week 37 is one you could look at for away days if you really wanted to go for Middlesbrough players, but I guess in terms of other teams, like Southampton play at home, not ideal. Sunderland play away, but that is against Southampton, not ideal. Leicester are away, so that's okay if you want to have triple there. But it's not as easy as 33. I think that's the thing with the game week 33. It's just so easy to get a good away day and a good away days team out. And get 11 that play away quite easily and more with the Hull and Blackburn players. So, don't know. Have you guys got any other thoughts or ideas about alternative strategies to away days 33? It's tricky.
I don't think I have, because game week 33 arguably the best week to play away days, because the informed teams have all away games that week, at least one. Hull, the most informed team, Hull, with the assets they have 2 away games. Even though if they don't do well against, even though if they score 1 goal against Southampton, I mean, they will demolish Huddersfield with the way Huddersfield is now playing and with the attacking talent Hull has. Even though Southampton again is not looking tough for them, if they play to their potential, they can give a game to Southampton. So arguably the players that we are going to have in the coming weeks will be from the teams. We already own Sammy Smodix from Blackburn. They have perfect 2 away games, Preston and Cardiff. We already have Leeds, 3 triple up Leeds. They play Plymouth away. Coventry, they play Stoke away. With the kind of form Stoke are in, I can't say that that's a bad game. Ipswich, although they have Rotherham at home, would have loved Rotherham away as well, but they have Swansea away. So I think arguably uh, Game 33 is the best week to play away days. I don't, I can't bother to look at other weeks, especially because then you have to have all those permutation and combinations. Which teams will have away days? Which teams also it depends on whatever players that you have currently. Then you have to adjust. Let's say if you are not playing 33, let's say you're playing in 37, you have to adjust your team accordingly, and which is really this hard thing to do if you're not on overall, because then you have to plan 2 to 3 weeks players move ahead. You don't want to miss out on the price rises if your player is on form, if your player is running through form right for the weeks. You don't want to miss out on them as well. So I think in terms of looking at the fixtures, 33 spot on, play your away days, relieve your worries, because we have seen in this middle sector of the boost, it's really hard to prepare a budget buster team, especially if you're left with the budget buster. As seen a couple of good friends of us, they don't, they have forgotten players who are going to be under the budget. So it will be really hard if you're not having to play the week that is looks like the best
Yeah.
week to play that said boost. I
On
think.
that, yeah, I agree. But on that point, it's actually quite interesting because if there is a week that lines up well, and I haven't looked at the fixture ticker close enough to see if there is one, but let's say there was one where you can quite easily get 11 good away players with the best assets in the game. The difference between that and Game Week 33 in terms of fixtures that get the times 2 multiplier might only be 3 or 4 games. Like in terms of Game Week 33, we might have a sprinkling of like Blackburn and Hull. We might have maybe 3 or 4 of them, and we might have 14 maybe sort of away fixtures versus 11. And then you could play performance enhancement in 33 on a double game week on 11 players. So you've got like 22 fixtures worth of performance enhancement and 11 for away days on another week versus maybe just 11 or a little bit more in the small doubles but with worse assets for performance enhancement in another week versus 14, 15 away fixtures. So you're losing like potentially a lot of performance enhancement fixtures. So that could swing it away from away days 33 if there's another good away days week. But then the flip side again onto that, so I'm kind of flip-flopping and giving all the arguments for and against, is you want to play the highest ceiling boosts on the most fixtures, and away days is the highest ceiling boost than performance enhancement because it's just times 2 points on everyone rather than just times 2 bonus. So a few things to consider, and I'm not sure what the right answer is right now. So yeah, I just suggest you all kind of think through these pros and cons. Look at your team and how you set you are for 33, and I'm going to need to do some maths. I'm going to have to go away and do some maths, which I like doing.
Yeah, I think another point you can add to that is because when it comes to the close to the end of the season, teams that have already qualified will start to get rotated quite a bit. So for the likes of, let's say, if the double gets rescheduled in on 44, 45, 43, whatever weeks that we have apart from 37, then there will be a problem, because then you are not going to have those, you will have reduced options because you don't know who will be starting. If let's say Leicester and Ipswich are two confirmed promote players, if they have decent enough double players, you don't know that every people will start because they have their promotion guaranteed. So that's another factor you have to consider if you're playing at a later date, especially after 38
It's true.
onwards. So because we have seen, even though in the early part of the season they rotate the hell out of their squads, all the managers, all the good team managers. So it's another thing to consider with those plans as well. But
Yeah.
it's always a part and parcel of these the plan for your boost. But yeah, if you're not playing 33, lots of headaches will happen, especially at the later part of the season. So why bother in getting those headaches?
I've just been having a look to see if there's any weeks where all 4 of Ipswich, Leeds, Leicester, and Southampton play away. I haven't found one yet. I don't think there's one. I might be wrong on this, but I've found various weeks where 3 of them do, mostly involving Ipswich as part of one of those 3. So those are the ones I would consider if I was going the alternative strategy of not playing away days in 33. It would be ideal if all 4 did in 1 week, but there isn't one that I can see at the moment. So yes, one to take away and think about. So yeah, all good points. David, have you got anything else you want to say here?
No, I don't think so. But at least it's smart to just set your boost strategy now before the week comes, because if you want to play away this, you want as many players as possible, and you can just look at the players you want for the weeks coming up, because I think it's a typical thing that you just take a huge hit the week, but we have still 3 weeks to go, and those fixtures before that can also be good for let's say more or something. So just start planning now, and not like me, just leave it until the week is coming, because then you can lose points on hits and just lose other points before the week as well.
Yeah, because if you do play away days in 33, you want to be prioritising your whole assets, for example, and maybe Schmollix. So it's important.
Yep.
Should we go on to questions?
Sure.
David, you're here this time to do questions. Woo!
Woo! Let's go.
Oh,
let's
questions.
find the questions.
Those are the questions.
Yeah. Right. We can take Billy Hadaway's ones first, right?
Sure thing.
Yeah. Which 2 hull mids out of the big 3 of Carvalho, Philogene, and Sarori?
Ooh, good question. Philogene is a definite. For me personally, I'm not sure on Carvalho versus Sarori because we've not seen enough of either of them yet. But I want to watch them closely. Any opinions from you two?
Yeah, I already have Carvalho, so I'm keeping him. But the second one is a bit more difficult, just because they're all mids, and you can't have everyone with all the other template picks. But yeah, this one.
I think the jury is still out for Zaruri because he just joined. So how he fits to the system, I have to see. But yeah, stands out. Philogene and Carvalho are my number 1 and 2 picks out of the 3.
Has Philogene played back yet, or is he just coming back now?
He last played, I think, in game week 20, 21.
So we're not sure about his fitness in game. Yeah.
No, he played in 30. He played in 30. He came back in 30. He got a goal in 30. So he came back with a bang.
Right.
I think he got 9 points. So
okay.
Hull really missed his services. So yeah, Philogene will be a crucial.
So you're saying that you go Philogene and one of the others ones.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, Carvalho sticks out because he looks like a decent. He is a player that is playing right now. Zod just joined Hull, so it means to be see how fitness, because he wasn't getting that much of game time in Burnley like last season. So
he was great last season. He was a great fantasy pick.
Yeah, I mean,
Gaffr loads.
He did. Yeah, I mean, hopefully I mean, in terms of Gaffr, he had to play. He hasn't played it for Burnley this season.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him. So yeah, how Rossinier uses him remains to be seen. But as of now, I think Carvalho and Philogene didn't stick out.
Nice.
Cool.
Right. On to Kyle at Stoke Gaffr, who asks Rutter plus O'Hare or Kiefer Moore plus Clark.
I really want to say Kiefer Moore plus Clark, but remains to be seen how many minutes he gets. I have to have the confirmation of minutes because if he's going to be the super sub, then there's no point in going Kiefer Moore. So yeah, as of now, I think it's Rutter was plus but I really like the look of Kiefer Moore and Clark in that team.
I'm pretty sure they've brought Kiefer Moore in to be first choice. I mean, he was obviously only on the bench this weekend, but he'd only just joined. I mean, I don't see why they'd have got him in. He's clearly their best striker, with best experience. So I'm pretty sure he'll be first choice, and he could do really well. It's that classic, unknown thing where we often overrate new signings, but he could be fantastic. So it's close for me. Rutter and O'Hare's fairly safe. I think O'Hare's doing really well at the moment, and he's good to have.
You would have to look at the fixtures for Leeds and Sunderland as well, I guess, because both of them are very good. That's probably why he's one of them. Sunderland, Plymouth at home, Huddersfield, Birmingham, Leeds, Rotherham at home, Swansea away, Plymouth at home, but no doubles for either of them. So it depends on if you want a doubling striker or one of those, or midfield.
Yeah, I mean, there's very little in it for me looking at those two different combinations. I think if you want to play safe, you go Rutter and O'Hare because we haven't seen much of Kiefer Moore, but it really wouldn't surprise me if Kiefer Moore becomes a great pick. So I mean, they're both great combos.
Yeah, and because you have either a expensive striker and a middle of the road midfielder, or a cheap striker and an expensive midfielder, it looks like you can have both of them pretty easily in your team. So yeah, just have to pick one. But I will go with the second one personally.
Okay, cool.
Right. Next question. Gaffr Hoops. What are the possibilities for double game week and blank game weeks due to FA Cup future rounds? This may be a huge consideration for Boost. Keep up the good work, fellas. Thank you.
Apologies, this might have come in a bit later because it's not on the screen. I think we've addressed it though. I don't think we have to say anything on that. Assuming you've watched or listened to the rest of the pod, hopefully you've got a good idea now.
Yeah, but thank you for the compliment.
Indeed.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Right. Last question, is it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Bombardier, I think you said, I don't know, asks, what's your ideal front three? Oh, wow, English. With more now at English, no, at Ipswich. Oh, I set myself up there. It's very difficult to choose three from the other options available. It's been too long, man. Oh. Ideal front three.
I would love to break the forward template with Kiefer Moore, Whitaker, and Adam Armstrong. Not go Leeds attacker with Rutter. Or maybe go Bamford, Kiefer Moore, and one of Whitaker and Adam Armstrong. Because looking at the fixtures out of the next 10 fixtures, Ipswich has the most really good run. I mean, most greeny run that you have seen in the championship fixture ticker for a long time. I mean, look at these fixtures Ipswich have: West Brom at home, Millwall away, then Swansea away, Rotherham home. That's a double game week. Birmingham home, Plymouth away, Bristol home, Cardiff away, Wednesday home, Sheffield Wednesday home, Blackburn away. Before they meet Southampton in game week 40. I mean, that's
they need this good run right now because they are struggling.
I mean, if they can come out of this good run with maximum amount of 9 wins out of 10 before they meet the Southampton with 10 wins out of the 10 games that they have, geez.
They won't though. They're struggling. They won't. I think they'll do better than they're doing at the moment, but 6 wins maybe out of 10.
It's it could be like a perfect fancy point storm for more with the good fixtures and new players.
But on the flip side, the business that Ipswich has done, they have added more attackers. So you can't. So it's the thing that they were lacking goals because they aren't scoring any goals. They have now signed 2 attackers who were in form in their respective leagues. I mean, Kiefer Moore, whenever he played for Bournemouth, contributed, whether being the assist of the assister or the assister of the goals. But he was doing well, and he already scored 2 goals with a 15-minute cameo. And the other Egyptian side is a Syrian striker, I think. Yeah, they signed an Egyptian striker. Who was he? He was on
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they were lacking goals. They signed 2 strikers who are in form. So I can't rule them out getting 9 wins out of 9. But yeah, I get the argument that they they had drew too many matches for their comfort. That's why they are really struggling in terms
Mm.
of form, you might say, because they somehow gets the goals either in the 90th minute or gets to concede at a really bad time, and then they shake hands with a 1 point each with the team. So yeah, I get the point, but
But
yeah, you never.
one other thing to add here there is I wouldn't be too quick to suggest selling Rutter though, because Leeds' run is also pretty amazing. They play Leicester at home in game week 34. That's a tough game, but outside of that, they have got a really good run too. Rotherham,
Mm.
Swansea, Plymouth, then Leicester, then Huddersfield, Stoke, Wednesday, Millwall, and then
But
Watford.
would you have Rutter over Armstrong or something? Or both? Or both?
No. Southampton's fixtures are good too. They double.
But if you
The
can't,
problem,
if you have
yeah,
5 midfielders, for example.
why am yeah, the one thing is that in terms of Rutter, they have now Bamford fit. They now have Pirro fit. I mean, he's starting, but sooner rather than later, Darren Fogg going to change it up again. So I think, yeah, and it's really tricky if you're looking at it. But first of all, have to see what Ipswich lineup starts. Hopefully, Kiefer Moore gets the start. Then all the decisions will be easier for
Yeah.
all of us.
If you could
Because
sell Whittaker, I mean, obviously the problem is he's such a bargain and he doesn't look like he's going to stop scoring. But he does have tougher fixtures than everyone else: Sunderland, Coventry, then in the double, Leeds, West Brom, then Borough, then Ipswich. So if you could get a front three of Armstrong, Rutter, and Kiefer Moore, then maybe that is the best front three. But the problem is Whittaker enables so much, and to get that front three, you're going to have to sacrifice something somewhere else. So, and you probably don't want to do that because
and
you've got really
also
important assets in midfield and defence. So.
yeah, and also I think you can't sacrifice the most informed striker or most informed player in the championship. I mean, I was watching yesterday's game. I mean, he looked so lively. I mean, he will score a goal even on a losing cause. So he's that good. So I don't know how Swansea let him go, but because Swansea
Yeah.
needs a really goal scoring forward now. But yeah, I mean, he will get a big move,
Yeah.
if not next season, in the next season. He will get a big move if he continues to score goals for fun. So yeah, I think
I think it's a
yeah.
question between like if it's value for a million versus good fixtures, because Whittaker is like sky high on that metric, and like, do you want to sell with money being so tight with all those template picks? Do you want to sell a striker that's scoring as many
Yeah.
goals as Rutter but cheaper with a bit less features?
And also, I think money is tied up with Whitaker. I mean, a lot of people have Whitaker from the start. A lot of money is tied up still, I think, in terms of.
True.
Yeah,
So a
I'm
lot of
probably
decisions.
getting more though. That's like, I'm pretty sure because I can just like do for some reason I have Callum Martry. I can get him out for you see how bad it's going.
Says a lot, that does.
Yeah, that was like making up money for someone else. I think it was maybe in the blank because he probably can get some minutes, but yeah, that was yeah. I'm probably getting more because that's fun vibes.
Cool. All right. Shall we move on to our teams then for game week 31 as we enter the final third of the season now?
Yeah.
16 game weeks to go. And then, David, here you go. What are you going to do?
Yeah. As I said now, I probably will get the striker, but who do I bench? No idea. I have the template defenders. If you discount, I haven't also owned Pereira all season. I just recalled. I have Ampud instead, and he's playing Rotherham, so I think I'm keeping him for a little more. I'm obviously starting Torp because I will be very mad if he gets points and I don't start him. So he's like a lock for me. But my bench is terrible, to be fair. So like my problem is like, do I switch formations from 3-5-2 to 3-4-3 and benching one of Carvalho or Somerville, Dewsbury, Hall, or Clark? Like, what do I do? Is Swansea a good fixture for Hall? Is it?
Yeah. Swansea aren't doing well at the minute.
Yeah, bit impossible. I should probably just roll to not get that problem. But Ipswich play West Brom, and they're doing quite well, aren't they? So
Yeah.
it's not like the best feature to get him in right away. So I could just roll actually. But at the moment, I have Captain Armstrong. Even though Huddersfield score goals for France, I don't know if that's the best one, but I at least have a captaincy on him and vice captaincy on Somerville at the moment. And my hesitation to captain Dewsbury Hall continues.
This week's not week's captain Dewsbury Hall, though. To be fair,
Let's go.
looking at those other fixtures.
That's actually not a good thing for me, because then people will not captain him and get the points as well. Oh well. Let's see.
In terms of my squad, I think I really want Philogene Bidet, so that will be my move, because I think I only got maybe DD. It's really hard to sell who. I need to get get news about Rowe, or whether he is fit or not, because he ideally will be my midfielder to replace Philogene Bidet with. So hopefully he will be. So Philogene Bidet will come in. Apart from that, I don't see much change, but certainly I'm not captaining a Leicester player because they face Watford away and Leeds face Rotherham at home. I will be stupid to not captain or put vice captain on a Leeds player. So probably it will be Somerville captain, Rooter vice captain. So in terms of team, I think Hammer will be in goal. Ampadu, Walker Peters, Rick Barbosa, and Davis will be back four. My three midfielders will be Somerville, Dewsbury Hall, maybe DD, or Philogene Bides, depending on the news of Johnny Rowe. And my three forward options are Rooter, Armstrong, and Whittaker. So, yeah, captaincy will be Somerville, vice captaincy will be. Oh, no, I'm not putting vice captaincy on Rooter. I'm putting vice captaincy on Adam Armstrong. They face Huddersfield home at home. Jeez. And the emergency captaincy will be probably will be on Whittaker or one of Whittaker or Rooter. But yeah, I'm looking. So yeah, I'm looking to own the Hull guys. Going to double up on Hull guys or treble up, because I also am looking to own Giles as well. So really exciting times for Hull and exciting times for us Gaffr managers as well, because it's the final stretch of the season. Let's see how many points we're gonna gather.
Cool.
But just before we start, Joel, could it be like a window for selling Dewsbury Hall in Game 33 and getting back sometime around when they face bad teams again? Because he has Middlesbrough and Leeds.
It's risky, but maybe.
I might do that actually. Go on.
Interesting thought. Yeah, my team. I think I'm gonna roll. Philogene Bidet is my biggest priority transfer in, but I can't do it in one move, so I need to make a downgrade, which means I don't think I want to do it for a hit. I'm going to wait a week on that. Similarly, I want to move from Rowe like Abhishek. I'd probably get the money from downgrading Angus Gunn. I think that's the most logical downgrade. I don't see anyone else to want to downgrade in my team at the moment at all. So I think that will be what I do, because I've still got Hudkey anyway. But Angus Gunn has been great for me because of Jeepers Keepers.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird move. I mean, goalkeeper transfer to get some money.
But
really,
it was worth it because Jeepers Keepers went
after
really
after all,
really
he saved you in the cheaper keepers. So it's really weird to see.
Saved you. That's a funny pun.
Yeah, I was convinced Underhall was not the play, and Jeepers Keepers was clear, and it went really well. 50 points I got from that boost.
The best chip in Gaffr. Boost, I mean.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
Love it. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. Yeah, Captain Somerville and probably Vice Captain Armstrong, but similarly to you guys, will consider Rutter too. Yeah, that's me. Pretty straightforward, actually. The interesting thing for me is going to be, do I sell Harwood Bellis for Giles in the double? Which, obviously Southampton are great defensively, but the upside with Giles attacking wise could be there. So one to ponder for me. Particularly if I play away days, obviously. Get an extra away fixture too. But yeah. Cool. So that's that. Any final words from you guys before we wrap this up?
Very nice to be back. It was a great fun to see you guys again and talk to you about Gaffr. So
Yeah,
hopefully I
think
can join in more in the future as well.
I mean, in terms of transfer window, I think what a transfer window championship sides had.
Mm.
Lot of people signed in for championship sides. Not a lot of movement in the European market as
Lots of
such.
people released
In
as
terms
well.
of,
So
yeah,
So
but
many
lots of
so
people
many loans recalled and moving to another
recall.
club,
Yeah,
another loan somewhere
that
else.
was a
Bizarre.
really that was a really interesting thing to see because so many loans recalled, especially from the championship, but so many deals done on the championship front as well. So yeah,
a
that's a good
bit.
thing to. That's a really good thing especially in the January transfer window that just
Mm.
got off. Yeah,
Yeah, going to be interesting times as we move into the final third of the season. Also, yeah, I think ranks are up to date now. 100 points net is a red arrow. It is a red arrow. I think there were quite a few budget busters around.
But not for me.
yeah, not for me as well. I think
I'm like,
I've got a green arrow. I think I was what? Oh yeah,
I can't believe
six
I've got a
hundred
red
and
arrow this
sixty-six.
week. Mad.
Jeez, I have six.
I'm just like the meme that guy that's just like call ambulance, but not for me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Cool. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a good week, and yeah, we'll be back soon for some more content. I think we'll probably do a Super League episode, particularly with boost resetting for that this next weekend. So I think we'll
Finally
probably
something I'm
do
doing well in.
yes.
In brief.
So yeah, that'll be fun. And until then, yeah, we'll see you soon. So it's goodbye from me.
Ha det bra.
Namaste from me.